Releasing two new large-scale Technic Ferrari and Red Bull sets. We're going to go over the details of the difference between the two and how they compare to the actual cars themselves. First, we're going to talk about the Oracle Red Bull Racing RB20 F1 car. This is a $230 set and will be coming out on March 1st. It's got 1,639 pieces and is 6 inches high, 10 inches wide, and 25 inches deep. As you can see, it's got the classic Oracle coloring with the blue of Red Bull with our Red Bull stickering. And of course, we've got the front fenders and the full cockpit section, as well as the engine compartment. The wheels are of the new design, and the RB20 is the latest model with the RB21 coming out in 2025 season. Now we're going to look at the actual model itself here. And there is our RB20. The RB20, it looks pretty much the same. If we jump back and forth here, we're going to see the comparison of the pod section in its sloping capacity, but it is larger than previous years. But in its same design, it has some changes compared to last year. It went more so for a revolutionary design instead of some of the classics that they had in the RB20. In the RB19. The nose and lower main profile goes all the way extended to the floor instead of from the RB19. So that can also be seen here going all the way down into the main vents or fins at the front section. The structure on the inside of the struts is also thinner. It does have a different design than most, as it is putting more weight not in the structure at the front, but pushing it towards the rear. The overall design on the intakes are a little bit different as well. They are wider and lower to the ground than previous years. As you can see, the profile runs all the way to the floor instead of just an upper section to get a scooped intake to it. So this gives it a more aerodynamic and revolutionary design to it. It does have some new miniaturized radiation sections in the upper area for cooling. Another big change is our cockpit section. This is far larger than last year and deviates from what we've seen in previous years. This is a revolutionary design. I'm not sure of the airstreaming myself on this, but come testing, it might show that we're getting far more intake, pushing the exhaust towards the back compared to what we've seen before. The intake is round instead of Ferrari, which is more of a triangular shape, which we'll show here. The engine section does have the full V6 engine turbo with the full shaft to the gearbox in the back with our exhaust system. You can remove that paneling here and see the full gearbox section. The intake overall is not as round as you'd see on the actual set or actual model of the vehicle, but I mean, it's hard to do sometimes in Technic. But overall, I think the comparison between the models is quite comparable. It does have that different angling, the design that we've talked about there. The inner pods on each side are larger with the scoop section, getting that forced it to the ground, and the bazookas giving it a decent profile or descending profile compared to what we've seen in some of the other ones. Now looking at the Ferrari, this is our Ferrari vehicle as shown in Ferrari's website. We've got Carlos Sainz, which unfortunately has changed for the 2025 season, and Leclerc for the overall design. And as we scroll down, you're going to see this is our profile. It's got the triangular intake here. The pods are actually smaller. A lot of this is taken from the Red Bull 19, which just dominated the track. It has smaller pod sections, but far wider than previously to do that similar thing to scoop into the radiator heat section. The floor is not getting as deep as the Red Bulls. It does still angle downwards, but it's far more as a technical engineering design. The nose section does not go all the way to the floor. It does have a fin vented system here compared to Red Bull, and having these higher pods and thinner gives the intake a little bit more, airflow over those radiator sections, and it does still have the classic fin section that we've seen on the Red Bull. Really, a lot of taking design aspects from the Red Bull 19. Now, the Lego version of it is a little bit different. Actually, it's showing a circular intake, but the fin sections show a triangular. I'm not sure exactly why that is there. It does have the side pod sections, but instead of the lower section angling downwards, it has them angling straight back, just like the actual model itself. Now, it does have a V6 engine similar to what we saw in the Red Bull, since that is the standard here, but it is a little bit different. It has the piston sections here. The turbo shaft is just to the rear of it, and our suspension is different. It is far meatier in the front area compared to Red Bull's. And as we've talked about, the profile is not as large in the back. We have a sloped down section of the cockpit area and giving it a streamlined design. Not sure if Red Bull's gone in the right direction. I don't know what their airflow is looking like, but you can compare it. This is even the Speed Champions comparison here. So as you've seen in the two comparison sets, they are different. This has taken more of the RB19 design, while Red Bull has decided, let's go in some revolutionary takes here. We've dominated the track. Let's continue to try and do that with some new designs. The overall detailings of both vehicles are, well, of course, highly done. Both are $230, will come out March 1st. The Ferrari is a little bit less of parts. It's 1,361 pieces, while we've got 1,639 pieces. So, I mean, that's a big increase of 300 parts. I'm getting the details here. The Ferrari is the same size at 6 inches by 10 inches by 25 inches. And I think that's standard for the Ferrari and Red Bull designs for the real F1 vehicles. They have to be in that same scaling. As we can see here, Verstappen, the Red Bull main driver, is showing off the details of the vehicle, which is pretty cool, showing that there is the innovation of not only including Lego in these fun design builds, but also including the drivers as well as the technical team to get the details needed. The differences are drastic if you really consider the details and design. When you look at the Technic build, they try to capture as much as they can in this. And overall, I think that they did a great job in the capturing of the overall changes. Now, is that going to change for the RB21 and the SF-25? Probably. But they might not change as drastically as you think, because they want to keep as much as they can on the track to the speeds and competitiveness they need. Revolutionary design might be good, might be bad. Classics, taking off what the RB19 did for the SF-24, could be a beneficial thing for the Ferrari track, especially as we're getting Hamilton on the team this coming season. So let me know what you think of the design changes. Do you think that they are worthwhile? And do you think that Lego captured them in the best way possible, or did they miss out? Let me know in the comments below if they missed anything, or you hopefully will see some more detail come the RB21 and the SF-25. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video. We will be talking about more F1 as Lego is pushing more and more of their vehicles and their Speed Champions, Technic sets, and so much more. So thank you for listening and watching. I hope to catch you later on some of my other videos. All right. Catch you later.